G'day, welcome back to the channel. Well, we've got this 2007 DRZ400 and we're going to fit a Kickstarter kit to it. As you know, these things, they don't come out with a Kickstarter, and you can get stuck down the bottom of a snotty hill or something like that. Is probably the place where the battery will go flat. You know, the headlights on these things are hardwired on, so she's running a H4 headlight, sucking the juice out of the battery when you're trying to crank it when you've ended up upside down in a creek. So, Suzuki do a kit for these DRZs, Kickstarter kit. So that's what we've got. So that's what we're going to fit to this thing. So I'll get you around the other side. We'll have a look at what we have to do there, and I've got the kit laid out on the bench there. We'll have a look at that as well. So I've taken the bash plate off, and I've drained the engine oil, and I've drained the coolant. I've taken the rear brake pedal off. So we're going to take this radiator hose off, get that out of the way, and we can proceed to take the clutch cover off. That's where the Kickstarter needs to go. It's just plugged off. I know maybe Suzuki thought they'd save some money by not putting one of those on, but I don't know what their thinking was there. But anyway, we're going to put one on it and we'll fail-safe this bike from not starting. We'll head up to the bench, I'll show you the kit. Okay, this is the kit, just all laid out. So of course you get the clutch cover gasket, Kickstarter, the shaft, all the bits and pieces, idler gears, Kickstarter gears. You actually get a decompressor cable, lever, because we have to pull out the bung that's on the cylinder head and put the decompressor shaft in there. So we'll do that as well. Now that's the part number there for the kit, which is 26300-29810. Installation time says 1.3 hours. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe if you've fitted all these things once before, we all know that OEM times don't really match reality. But we'll just tick along and make sure it's right, and we'll do it properly. So we'll start by getting the clutch cover off. You've got a full set of instructions here. How many pages have we got? Oh, yeah, 19 pages there, so it's all pretty straightforward. You know, clutch cover off, clutch basket off, and then assembling all the Kickstarter parts and stuff like that. You know, we'll skip up to that step because I reckon we're probably going to need to know where all the thrust washers and bits and pieces go. From a bare Kickstarter shaft, and we'll put it together. But we'll get the clutch cover off and clutch off and all that stuff, so let's get into it. I wonder if this will peel off in one hit. Nope. Okay, we'll assemble this shaft. Kickstarter gear. I've already put some oil on it. That goes on there, with the teeth facing towards the back of the shaft. This is the front of the shaft that sticks out through the clutch cover. So you get supplied this washer and circlip. Put that on. Then we've got this gear. Now on the shaft there's a scribed line between those two teeth, and on this gear here there is a pin punch mark. That pin punch mark has to align in that spline. We'll come around this side. There's a hole in the shaft for that tang to go into. The spring only goes one way. You can't put it in the other way. And then this raised edge towards the gear. Straight in there like so. And then the spring and the washer. Okay, so we're going to get this retainer off because that's what's on there. And we need to take that off and that idler gear needs to go on there. So, got some Phillips head bolts in here. Now, if you don't have one of these impact drivers, I suggest you get one because, man, they've gotten me out of trouble. If you can't get one of these undone, you'll end up just stripping Phillips head screws. With that rig there, it just doesn't happen. Best invention. So flat side facing the basket, this raised side facing the engine. So installation of the Kickstarter stopper. Just remember that the thicker one, this one faces outwards and this one faces inwards towards the case. So just remember this one faces outward, this one faces inward. You join them together, should look something like that. And then that goes in towards the case. And then you bolt it together. And you locate that on that pin. And we'll just torque that. There we go, torqued. We've fitted the idler gear in there. We've put the retainer back on there to hold that idler gear from going walkabout. So we'll fit the Kickstarter that we've assembled. Right. So the washer seems to fall off a little bit there, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of grease and stick that washer in the back there. Just to hold it in place there. Now, your spring needs to locate in the hole in there. Now that's all fitted. So now we'll just do the reverse order. Fit the basket. Now you've got 3 gears to line up here. You've got your oil pump, the idler, and your primary gear off the primary gear is going to locate off this one here. And you've just sort of got to get them all lined up all at the same time. Come on. Oh, there we go. So it'll just fall in. Big washer at the back. Clutch hub. Now, you'll need something to lock your clutch hub with, so you can put the nut back on. Lock washer. Give that a nip up. And we'll bend that tag back over. Like so. And we'll just put all the clutch plates back in. So reverse order of the clutch plates. So at the very back there is the spring washer and then this spring. So you can see this spring is like a convex sort of spring there. Make sure you put it on the correct way. And then you can just inspect your fibre plates as you're putting it all back together. They're all looking pretty good. So I'm feeling these. You can feel the sharp side, the rounded side. You can feel the rounded side is facing out, and the sharp side, which is the flat side, facing inward. And there's a little bit of bluing on the plates, but they're okay. So anyway, get the rest of these in. That'll sit in there nicely. Now just nip these up. You don't have to go snapping the posts off. Just make sure they're tight. Okay, now we'll get the clutch cover. One goes there. Alright, we'll just keep plugging away. Get the radiator hose on, put all the brake pedal back on, and then we'll move to the other side for the decompressor. Okay, so we're up to the other side here to fit the decompressor lever and cable. So we've got to take the hand grip off, the switch block and the clutch perch and everything there, because it's got to mount back here, which is a bit sucky from Suzuki, not making a two-piece clamp. So we've got to take everything off to slide that on. So everything off from there, and we'll slide that on there, get that fitted into place, and then we will bolt all this stuff here, mount all the bracket and the decompressor arm. So let's get into that. Alright, we got that all on there. Now it's time to get this out. The Phillips head screw in there. So we're going to need my impact driver. To get that screw out. Okay, screw out. The retainer plate off. Oh, we need to take the stopper out there, 10mm. Okay, got the retainer plate off. You need to take this 10mm bolt out, which is the locator. Don't think you need to screw it all the way out, just enough so you can get that out. And that's what that 10mm bolt locates into. It's got a pin on the end. Now, I've already assembled this, so with the flat side facing down has to go in, because that's going to sit on top of the shim bucket, and that's what's going to press the valve down when you pull on the lever. So I've already assembled this here. So basically the cable insert section facing out, and then you've got this return spring which slips on and then hooks in like so. Now we're going to put the new retaining plate on. Of course we use the old screw. So your spring's on like so. Now this long end of the spring has to fit down underneath in this gap here, and flat side down, that's got to go on top of the bucket. So if you just wiggle it in a bit, you can push and locate that return spring there, and basically that is it there. Now you should be able to tighten up the locking screw at the back there, a little 10mm. Snip that up, and that ain't coming out. Right, now cable. So the bent end with the adjuster has to go into this, and then this section with the boot up to the lever. Now I'm not going to put the boot on just yet until I feed the cable through. Now it says this cable has to go up here and basically gets routed up the top here. Grab it, feed it around next to your clutch cable there. We'll just get it all the way through there for a minute. Now, just while it's not connected up top, we'll connect it down the bottom. We'll just get the nut started just in case we need a bit of flex there. Now I'm going to put this boot on. So we should have 1mm of free play. That's got quite a bit, as you can see. So we'll just take that free play up there. It's a bit tight. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to lock it up. There you have it. There's the cable installed. Now we'll get it down on the ground and we'll fill up the fluids, put Put some oil in it, put some coolant in it. I'm not going to put the bash plate on just yet, just in case we've got oil leaks or something like that. But we'll get it back down on the ground and we'll go from there. Okay, here we are. Got the tank and everything back on. Topped her up with oil. Topped off the coolant. So let's see how this thing is going to fire up. Fuel on. Choke's in there somewhere. There we go. Couple of twists on the throttle. A bit of fuel squirted in there. Now, I'm going to get her up on top dead centre. Give the old decompressor lever a pull. Bring the Kickstarter back up the top. It's as easy as that. The decompressor makes it so easy. Beautiful. Well, she's still a little cold. But that Kickstarter works a treat. And there you have it. That works really well. Now, as you can see with this bike, she's got the big safari tank on it. So, you know, this guy's going to want to go out yonder and you just don't want to get caught with a flat battery. So it's just going to up the reliability of this thing 100%. You get caught somewhere, you can always pop the Kickstarter out, give her a kick. So that's just, that's fantastic. And it works really well. I think it's money well spent. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification buttons and what have you. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.